Dear friends, a special greeting. Continuing to learn the benefits of the powerful ESP32 development board. We will use a 38-pin ESP32 board, placing it on a small 400-point breadboard. Make the necessary wiring connections on the breadboard. We will use a 10 kΩ linear potentiometer as an input element to generate information. And we will use an LED diode as an output element to illustrate information. Using the Arduino development environment, we will learn to create a simple local web server that we will load on the ESP32 board. Server that allows us to connect through Wi-Fi with this board, using any device connected to the network. And it provides us with a web interface that allows us to exercise control over the elements connected to the board, in this case, the LED and the potentiometer. Using style coding tools for web pages, such as CSS, we will learn how to introduce these codes within our web server on the ESP32 board. And we will see how this simple interface that you can see on the phone screen turns into this other larger and more stylized interface. That allows us to obtain data from our ESP32 board, in this case the voltage of a potentiometer periodically, and at the same time control the state of the LED wirelessly and with any device connected to the network. Welcome. If this is the first time you are going to program a board based on the ESP32 chip, I recommend you watch this video by clicking on the top of the screen, where you will learn how to install the resources of this board in the Arduino development environment, to develop and test your first program. This is the connection diagram that we will use for the activity. I leave this diagram in the video description. So, we are going to upload our web server to the ESP32 board. We open our Arduino software. In Tools, Board, we select our development board, in this case the ESP32 dev module. And in Tools, Port, we select the port where we have our ESP32 board connected. Then we go to File, Examples. We go to the Wi-Fi option and select the example Simple Wi-Fi server. This will be the example code that we will edit to create a server that suits our needs. Let's then edit the SSID or identifier of the Wi-Fi wireless network to which I want my ESP32 board to connect. Then we enter the password to access this Wi-Fi network. Further down on line 38 approximately, inside the void setup method, we edit pin 32 as the output for the LED, which is where we have the LED located according to our connection diagram. Further down in lines 87 and 88 of the code approximately, we edit the illustrative text with the pin where we have the LED located, in this case pin 32. Further down on lines 103 and 106 approximately, we edit pin 32 into writing high and low for the LED. Then we click on the upload icon to upload this program to the ESP32 board. When we see a message at the system output that says, "Connecting," it means that the Arduino software is waiting for the ESP board to enter programming mode. It is at this moment when we must press the boot button, located on the board for a couple of seconds. This will start loading our program on the ESP32 board. I clarify that, not in all cases, it is necessary to press this boot button to start loading the program. On some boards it is not necessary to execute this action. This last message in the system output tells us that the program has been loaded on the board. Then, we can open the serial monitor of our Arduino software to verify what initial control messages the board sends to our computer. We can verify at the beginning of our code that the board serial data transfer rate is configured at 115,200 baud. Reason why, in the configuration of the serial monitor we must ensure the selection of this same speed. In the termination setting it is recommended to select new line or NL. If no response from the board still appears on our serial monitor, we can restart the board by pressing the reset button, and we will begin to receive messages from our ESP32 board, for which we will particularly observe the connection status messages where it should tell us that the Wi-Fi connection was established and show us the IP address number that was assigned to our board automatically. We must keep it in mind since this will be the IP address of connection with our web server. At this moment we can go to any device connected to the network, computer, tablet, phone, and open the internet browser, for example, Google Chrome or the one of your choices, and in the address bar, enter the IP address that we already know is assigned to our ESP32 board, so that we, as customers, can request the web services of our ESP32 board. To which our board will respond with a web page, with 2 links through which we can wirelessly turn on and off the LED diode located on pin 32 of our board. By entering in our browser the IP address number that we know is assigned to our ESP32 board, we will be initiating as clients a connection request for a web service to our server. The server, in this case our ESP32 board, has an HTML template hosted, which we have coded and we can see in this area in our code in the Arduino editor. This template is sent by the ESP32 board in response to our request, and we see it represented as a web page in our browser. As we can see, the template has 2 links. When we click on the first link we can see in our address bar that the web page adds the capital letter H to our original request with the IP address. And when we press the second link, we can see that the capital letter L is added to the request with our IP. With this information sent from our client to our ESP32 server, the latter turns on the LED when receiving the letter H from the client or browser, and turns off the LED when receiving the letter L from the client or browser. This action is performed in this section of code in the Arduino editor, and we can observe it with 2 control structures of the if type. However, for this case, I want to improve this simple and small, almost invisible template, to have a larger and more stylized web control interface to control the LED and to monitor the potentiometer voltage. So how is an HTML template structured? And how do we incorporate appropriate visual styles within our HTML template on the ESP32 board? As an example, I will open a document editor, such as Word or Notepad. And I will place an HTML structure or template on this. This consists of an identification tag of the document type such as HTML. It has an HTML opening tag, and an HTML closing tag. Inside these tags, you have a header start tag or head, and a header close tag. After this, it has a start body tag, and a closing body tag. Within the header tags, the template of everything that is required to create the header of the web page will be written. In this case I will place a title in large letters with the label H1. And within the body tags, the template of everything that is required to create the main body of the web page will be written. In this case I will place a paragraph with the tag P. I will copy this template from here. And I will paste it into the Notepad++ editor just to illustrate the code with colors. I will save this file on my desktop, with any name, and selecting the file type as HTML. Then from my desktop, I will open this file with any browser, like Google Chrome, for example, which interprets this simple HTML template into what we know as a web page. That's how it works. So, in our code in Arduino, I will place this same HTML structure in an organized way, placing their respective HTML document definition, header, and main body tags, always placing them within a client point print method, since it will help us organize the development of the web interface that we want to carry out to control our LED and monitor our potentiometer. In the 2 lines of code describing the labels AREF, which simply correspond to the 2 links that we have seen on our initial control web page, we are going to delete the illustrative text, since they are only guide texts for the function of the links which we already know, and we will give them LED on and LED OFF names. If we load the program to the ESP32 board so far, we can see the 2 links like this in our web browser. Now, let's improve our current control web interface. To do this we go to a search engine, and place CSS styles for an AREF link. In the search results let's enter the CSS styling link, from W3 Schools. Here we can see examples of coding styles in CSS language, and we can even test their result on a web page. I will enter this example, in which we can see on the right side of the screen the result of a stylized link, and on the left side the HTML and CSS code that led to this result. The CSS code corresponds to everything written inside the style tags. All these style properties will be applied to the links that we have on our web page. For example, if we go to the background color property, we put green, and we click on Run. We can see in the result that our link changes from red to the green color that we indicated in said property. I am going to slightly modify some properties of the style event, link, so that it adapts to what I want to see in my web control interface. I will edit the background color to none. I will edit the link font color to green. I will add a solid border property with a thickness of 2 pixels. I'll add a link width property that takes up 98% of the window width. In the following hover style event, which is nothing more than changing certain properties when the link is pointed with the mouse or when it is selected by a user. I will edit a background color with green, and I will place the color of the link letter in white, thus obtaining the result that we see on the screen, just as I want it for my web control interface. So, we are going to include these style tags in our code in the Arduino environment. We are going to include them inside the header tags. We copy the first style event, and we paste it inside, and for better understanding we fix it in a single line of code. We then copy the second style event, and paste it into our code as well, arranging it in a single line of code. We can load what we have carried out of the program so far to the ESP32 board, and update our web connection with the board, and we will see how the links change to turn the LED on and off. Then we go up to the scope or initial editing space, and declare a global variable status, with which we will show in our web interface whether the LED is on or off. We go to the part of the code where we write the states of the LED, and we set the status variable a true value, if the LED is on, and false, if it is off. Then we go to the body of our HTML code, and with 2 control structures of the if type, we evaluate the value of this status variable. If it is true, we send our client a title text, status on, and if it is false, we send our client a text, status OFF. If we load the current code to the ESP32 platform, we can see in our control interface, a small text at the bottom that indicates the current state of the LED, on or off. Then I'll place one more style event, for the H1 title tags, where the text centers on the screen. And in the HTML code where the LED status is illustrated on the web page, I will place this text inside the H1 tags, so that it looks larger like a title. Lines after writing the LED status on the web page, I will take the analog reading of the potentiometer pin 34 of the ESP32 board. Then I will adapt that value on a scale from 0 to 3.3. Which represents the voltage in volts that we can obtain by manually varying the potentiometer. I will print this voltage variable between the H1 labels, to illustrate it large on the web page or web control interface that we have designed so far. Finally, I will place an HTML metadata to close the connection after each request from our client, and I will place a screen refresh every 5 seconds, allowing me to see the voltage value of the potentiometer update on the screen every 5 seconds. Finally, I will upload this code to the ESP32 board, a code that I leave you in the description of this video, and that's it. We have the control interface that we want to see the voltage value of the potentiometer updating periodically, and we can control the LED, all wirelessly and from any device connected to our Wi-Fi network. A special greeting, my dear friends, see you in the next video.